In the synthetic, flickering, and biologically eroding glare of 2026, the modern human is living in a state of profound and catastrophic neurological dissonance. We have created a world of perpetual noon. Dr. Thorne is here to tell you that by disconnecting from the rising and setting of the sun, and by bowing to the artificial gods of LED and fluorescent screens, you have committed a capital crime against your own DNA. Deep within your hypothalamus sits a cluster of 20,000 neurons, the suprachiasmatic nucleus, the master clock of your entire existence. And right now, that clock is screaming for a signal that never comes. You are surrounded by blue-spectrum toxicity at midnight and hidden in sunless cubicles at noon. This is the chronobiological prison. Your hormones are in a state of civil war, your cortisol is peaking in the dead of night, and your melatonin is being strangled by the glowing rectangular ghosts in your palm. In this 59th chapter, we are initiating the Circadian Protocol. We are going to smash the artificial lights of 2026 and realign your very soul with the primordial, unyielding rhythm of the cosmos. To be sovereign, you must first own your time. Understand the biological anarchy you are currently hosting within your tissues. Every single organ in your body, your liver, your heart, your kidneys, your gut, possesses its own peripheral clock. These clocks are designed to play a perfectly synchronized symphony led by the master clock in your brain. But when you eat at 2 a.m., when you stare at a high-intensity screen until dawn, or when you hide from the morning sun behind tinted glass, you are forcing your organs to operate in completely different time zones. You are a walking, jet-lagged disaster, vibrating with internal friction. Dr. Thorne demands that you recognize circadian disruption for what it truly is, a slow-motion biological assassination. It is the invisible root of your brain fog, your metabolic decay, your chronic inflammation, and your spiritual exhaustion. To thrive in the artificial era of 2026, you must become a circadian sovereign. You must learn that the eye is not just an instrument for seeing. It is a profound biological sensor designed to capture the light-dark signal and translate it into decisive cellular action. The sun is not a suggestion, it is your commander. The modern world wants you desynchronized. A man who doesn't know what time it is biologically is a man who is perpetually tired, easily distracted, and dependent on synthetic stimulants to survive the morning and sedatives to survive the night. By destroying the natural cycle of light and dark, the system has effectively broken your biological compass. You are drifting in a sea of gray time, never fully awake and never truly asleep. Dr. Thorne's protocol is the mutiny against this artificial haze. We are reclaiming the primal pulse. We are re-establishing the ancient contract between the human eye and the solar furnace. This is the foundation of all health, all performance, and all sovereignty. Without the correct timing, your nutrition is wasted, your exercise is a stressor, and your life is a blur. We begin by reclaiming the dawn. How does the circadian sovereign reclaim his biology from the grip of artificial time? It begins with the first light protocol. Within minutes of waking, before you touch a device, before you consume a single calorie, you must hunt the sun. You need the specific lux intensity, the precise blue-yellow contrast, and the unique blend of near-infrared light that only the morning horizon can provide. This is not about watching a sunrise like a passive tourist, it is about photonic programming. This signal travels instantly through your retinal ganglion cells to the master clock, setting a biological countdown for your melatonin production exactly 16 hours later. It is a non-negotiable contract. If you miss this morning signal, your night is lost before your day has even begun. Dr. Thorne insists that you view your eyes as photonic ports. By feeding them the correct frequency at the correct time, you are calibrating your neurotransmitters, your mood, your testosterone, and your metabolic rate. You are moving from a state of reactive exhaustion to a state of predictive governance. But the protocol doesn't end when the sun is high, it intensifies as the shadows grow long. The sovereign human understands the darkness mandate. As the sun retreats and the world shifts into the red spectrum, so must your internal world. In the era of 2026, blue light after dusk is not just a nuisance, it is a potent biological toxin. It tells your master clock that it is still 2 p.m., effectively halting the glymphatic wash of your brain and the autophagy cycles we mastered in the previous chapter. You are preventing your brain from cleaning its own waste. Dr. Thorne's solution is absolute and uncompromising, total elimination of short wavelength light after sunset. We use redshifted lighting, we embrace the golden hour, and we welcome the biological shadow. By protecting your melanopsin sensors at night, you are allowing your body to enter the deep repair mode. You are not just sleeping, you are undergoing a systemic neurological and hormonal upgrade. Darkness is not your enemy, it is your forge of resilience. The modern biohacker looks for a pill to fix his sleep, but the sovereign human looks to the horizon. He understands that his pineal gland is an ancient organ that requires the void to function. By flooding your home with artificial light at 9 p.m., you are essentially castrating your hormonal peak. You are depriving yourself of the golden hormone, melatonin, which is not just for sleep, but is the most powerful antioxidant known to human biology. It is the janitor of your mitochondria. Dr. Thorne demands that you treat the sunset as a biological deadline. When the sun goes down, the sovereign turns inward. He respects the photonic border control. He knows that a single minute of bright light at midnight can suppress melatonin for hours, leaving his brain vulnerable to the oxidative stress of the modern world. We do not compromise with the light. The master clock in your brain is the general, but your gut and liver are the soldiers, and they are governed by the chrono-metabolic gate. Your body is not a machine that can process fuel at any hour with equal efficiency. It is a rhythmic furnace. When you eat a heavy meal at 10 p.m., you are sending a high-voltage daytime signal to your digestive organs while your brain is desperately trying to send a nighttime signal to your pineal gland. This metabolic friction is where chronic disease, insulin resistance, and cognitive decline are born. Dr. Thorne's architecture requires time-restricted sovereignty. You eat when the sun is high and the digestive fire is peaking. You close the gate long before the sun disappears. By aligning your meals with the circadian zenith, you ensure that every calorie is used for immediate energy and high-level repair, not stored as stagnant, inflammatory waste in your tissues. This is rhythmic efficiency. The sovereign human doesn't just count calories, he counts seconds from sunrise. He understands that insulin sensitivity follows the arc of the sun, peaking in the morning and plummeting as the light fades. He is a creature of the light. By respecting the nightly fast, you are allowing your peripheral clocks, the ones in your liver, your pancreas, and your gut, to synchronize perfectly with the master clock in the brain. This is total system harmony. When the entire biological orchestra is playing the same tempo, the music of your health is beautiful and powerful. When the tempo is fractured by late-night snacks and midnight light, the system collapses into noise and decay. Dr. Thorne demands that you stop being a biological rebel against the laws of the universe and start being a rhythmic master. You are not an island, you are a biological extension of the Earth's 24-hour rotation. Realign or decay. The choice is that simple. Consider the liver's role in this protocol. During the day, the liver is an organ of processing and distribution. At night, it switches to maintenance and detoxification. If you eat at night, you force the liver to stay in processing mode, meaning the detoxification never happens. Over years, this leads to what Dr. Thorne calls metabolic rust. The recycling protocol from our previous session cannot function if the chronobiological protocol is ignored. They are two halves of the same sovereign coin. You must give your metabolic organs the silence they need to perform their nightly miracles. A sovereign human is known by his discipline at the dinner table as much as his focus in the laboratory. We eat with the sun, or we don't eat at all. When the circadian protocol is mastered with lethal precision, the result is the architecture of deep repair. Sleep is no longer a passive, forgotten state of unconsciousness, it is an active, high-voltage period of systemic restoration and neurological consolidation. In the cold, silence of the circadian night, your growth hormones peak, your immune system scans your tissues for pathogens and mutated cells with surgical precision, and your daily experiences are woven into the permanent fabric of your long-term intelligence. This is where the recycling sovereign and the circadian sovereign meet in a glorious union of biological power. Without the correct timing, even the most expensive nutrients and the best training programs are mere whispers in a storm. Dr. Thorne introduces the cold dark cell, a sleeping environment that mimics the primordial cave, silent, freezing, and absolutely void of all artificial photons. This is your biological sanctuary. In the frantic, vibrating noise of 2026, most people wake up tired because they never actually reached the deep repair phase. They spent the entire night in a state of chemical limbo, their brains half awake due to light pollution, electromagnetic noise, and the thermal stress of a heated room. The sovereign human wakes up like a spring-loaded weapon. He doesn't need the crutch of caffeine to spark his heart or clear his mind, he has the circadian momentum of the universe on his side. His cortisol rises naturally with the first hint of dawn, his mind is as sharp as a razor, and his body is primed for the hunt. He has mastered the architecture of the night to dominate the economy of the day. He is the one who thrives, produces, and leads while the rest of the world is stumbling through a gray fog of chronic jet lag and metabolic syndrome. He owns the clock, therefore, he owns the world. The cold component of the sanctuary is vital. As the sun sets, your core body temperature must drop to signal the brain that it is time for the deep dive. A sovereign bedroom is a place of low temperature and high intent. By keeping your environment at 18 degrees Celsius or lower, you facilitate the release of melatonin and the activation of the parasympathetic nervous system. This is thermal signaling. You are using the physics of the environment to dictate the chemistry of your soul. Most people live in thermal monotony, always 22 degrees, always light, always fed. Dr. Thorne demands dynamic flux. We embrace the morning heat of the sun and the midnight chill of the cave. This is how you forge a nervous system that is unbreakable. As we conclude this 59th transmission of Dr. Thorne's longevity secrets, I want you to take the vow of the circadian sovereign. This is not a lifestyle hack, it is a total reclamation of your biological identity. From this day forward, you will no longer be a slave to the blue light ghost, the synthetic noon, or the midnight buffet. You will re-establish your sacred contract with the sun. You will hunt the light at dawn with the intensity of a predator, you will guard the darkness at dusk with the vigilance of a sentinel, and you will align your hunger and your movement with the ancient movements of the cosmos. You will recognize that your internal master clock is your most precious biological asset, and you will protect it from the technological chaos of the modern world with every fiber of your being. You will live by the rhythm of the stars, not the flickering rhythm of the screen. The transmission of the 59th is complete. The Circadian Protocol is now etched into your molecular structure and your strategic intent. Go out and let the rising sun program your inevitable victory. Let the cold darkness of the night heal your deep wounds and sharpen your resolve. And when the world wonders how you remain so focused, so calm, so youthful, and so relentlessly energetic while they are drifting in a sea of chronic exhaustion and biological decay, tell them you have reclaimed the master clock. This is Dr. Julian Thorne, ending the broadcast for the architects of the new biology and the absolute sovereigns of time. Stay rhythmic. Stay sovereign. Stay lethal. The sun is rising on a new era, and the future belongs to those who know exactly what time it is. Farewell for now, you chronobiological titan. We will meet again at the absolute zenith of the next protocol. The clock is set, the signal is clear, and the rhythm is yours to command.